are back here again with one more new video. In the yesterday's period, we had learned about the defects in the crystals and the types of defects. In the types of defects, we had learned about the stoichiometric defect, non-stoichiometric defect. Stoichiometric defect is also called as point defect. Non-stoichiometric defect is also called as line defect, right? So in the stoichiometric defect, there was a further division we had seen. That was the Frenkel defect, vacancy defect, interstitial defect and Schottky defect, right? And in the non-stoichiometric defect, we had seen about the two kinds of a defect, that was metal excess defect and metal deficiency defect, right? Okay, so in today's period, we'll be talking about the electrical properties of the solid. So let's come here. Electrical properties of solid. Right, so we'll be talking about the electrical properties in today's period. So what is the electrical properties? Electrical properties of solids are measured in terms of conductivity. Always remember that the electrical properties of the solids are measured in terms of conductivity. Right? Now what, on the basis of this, we can, on the basis of electrical conductivity, we can classify them into three types. That is conductor, then non-conductor and semiconductor. Right? In the yesterday's period, we had a very short introduction that electrical properties of the solid can be classified into three types: conductor, non-conductor and semiconductor. Now, before beginning with this, we have to understand that what is this term called as the conductivity. See, conductivity is nothing but the ability of a substance, to pass electric current. Right? The ability of a substance to pass the electric current is nothing but said to be the conductivity. Now, here talking about this, conductors have a very good conductance. They have a very good conductance. Why they have a very good conductance? They can pass the electricity, right? Now talking about the non-conductor, they have a zero conductance, or we can say they have a poor conductance, right? Why? Because they cannot pass electric current. Talking about the semiconductor, they have a very less conductance. That means the conductivity is less and electric current can be passed, but very less amount. So right, I hope that you have understood conductor, non-conductor, semiconductor, right? Conductor has a very good conductance, non-conductor has a zero conductance or a poor conductivity, and semiconductor has a very less conductance. Conductor can pass the electricity, non-conductor they cannot pass the electricity. Semiconductor can pass the electricity under a certain conditions, either by adding the impurity to it, or either by adding the temperature to it, or by increasing the temperature we can increase the conductivity of the semiconductor. I hope that you have understood this. Okay, let's move further. Now let's talk about the periodic table. Let's come to the periodic table. So in the periodic table, we have metals, then we have non-metals, and the third one is metalloids, right? So we know that in a periodic table, how many number of blocks are there? S, P, D, F. So in those blocks, you will find metals, non-metals and metalloids are present, right? So metals are good conductor. Non-metals are non-conductor, or we can say they are a poor conductor or a bad conductor, right? And metalloids, they have a less conductance, right? So here we can say metals are conductor, non-metals are non-conductor, and metalloids are semiconductor. Right? Now I hope that the picture is very much clear to all of you. Looking at the periodic table, metals are good conductor, non-metals are poor conductor, metalloids have a less conductance. So metals are called as the conductor, non-metals are called as the non-conductor, metalloids are called as the semiconductor. So this is what is the situation in the periodic table. Now let's move further and let's understand the electrical conductivity in the solids by applying the theory called as the band theory of conductance, right? This is a very important theory, band theory of conductance, right? Now according to the band theory of conductance, band theory of a conductance says that there are two kinds of a band. There are two kinds of a band, that is the valency band and the second type is the conductance band. Right? I hope you are understanding it. There are two types of bands are present, that is valency band and conductance band. In the valency band, this is at a lower energy and electrons are in the ground state. Right? See, try to understand valency band. This is at a lower energy and electrons are in the ground state. Talking about the conductance band, here this band is at higher energy and it is under electric influence, electric current influence. Right? There are some electrons which are present in the conductance band, but this particular electrons are passed from the valency band to the conductance band. Right? I hope that you are understanding it. Okay. Now let's understand the band theory of a conductance. Now what does the band theory of conductance says? That between these two bands there is some kind of a energy gap. Energy gap. Now this energy gap is nothing but said as forbidden energy gap. Right? I hope that you all are understanding it. There is an energy gap between the valency band and the conductance band, that is said to be the forbidden energy gap. Now let's diagrammatically understand how it is. Let's draw the diagram. So we will take all of them, conductor, non-conductor and semiconductor. So number one, I'll take the example of non-conductor. Right? So this is our conductance band, right? Let's see. And this is our valence band. See, I'm writing it, valence band, and this is conductance band. Right? Now what happens in the case of the particular non-conductor? Now before that, let's understand that when the particular substance will pass the electricity. See, whenever the electrons will pass from the valence band to the conductance band, we say that the particular substance is a good conductor of electricity. But what happens in the case of non-conductor? The energy gap which is there, this energy gap is very huge. So the electrons are unable to pass from valency band to the conductance band. So that is why we say they are the poor conductor. Why poor conductor? Because the electrons cannot pass from the valency band to the conductance band. This particular band is responsible for the conductivity. Right? We all know that unless and until the electrons are mobile means moving in the system, there is no possibility of the conductivity. Right? I hope that you are understanding it. So here in this case, the electrons are not able to move. That is why we say they are the poor conductors, right? I hope that you have understood this for non-conductor. Now let's understand what is the situation for the semiconductor. We'll draw the same diagram. Semiconductor. In case of semiconductor, this is the conductance band and this is the valence band, right? So what you can see, the energy gap is very less. So here the possibility is that the electrons can pass from valency band to the conductance band, right? So electricity can be passed, but if we increase the temperature, the electrons will be easily mobile in the system, right? Or the electrons will be easily movable from the valency band to the conductance band, right? That is why I said that the conductivity of a semiconductor can be increased by either putting the temperature or increasing the temperature, or either by adding the some or the other kind of a impurity, right? And this addition of a impurity is nothing but called as the doping, right? That we'll see further. But now for this you have to understand that there is a possibility of a conductance, that the electrons can move from the valency to conductance band by increasing the temperature of the system, right? Now let's talk about the conductor. What is the case for the conductor? In the case of conductor, what happens? This is conductance band and this is valency band. This is conductance band, this is valency band. So what is happening in this case? As you can see that they are almost touching each other. There is zero energy gap. There is almost zero energy gap. Or sometimes you may also see that they are overlapping with each other. So the mobility of the electrons, is very much possible from the valency band to the conductance band, right? I hope that you are understanding it, right? So what is the situation in this case? The particular electrons are easily passed from the valency band to the conductance band. That is why we say that this particular conductor have a very good conductivity, right? I hope that you have understood the conductance theory, right? I request all the students to note down this. Okay, now let's move further. Let's talk about the semiconductor and impurity. Semiconductor and impurity, right? So as I told you that we can increase the conductivity of a